Hello, guys, and welcome to the very first episode of the Golden Boots podcast. I will be your host, Jorge Gonzalez. This podcast is all about soccer, all things soccer. We love soccer. And for our very first episode, we have my main man here, Andre Diouf. Andre, how are you today?
Doing great, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing amazing. How was your day, bro?
Can't complain, man. Had some Jamaican food,
Oh, snap.
good
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, just chilling now.
Nice. Cool, man. So the main point of our podcast is to bring people from the soccer community in, especially here in the Charlotte area now that we're getting an MLS team. And what I wanted to do is kind of go over Andre's background a little bit because he's a former D1 athlete. I mean, you played for some really good schools. You played for University of Central Florida, and you also played for Liberty University, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about your background, man, where you're from, how you got started, and things of that nature.
Awesome, man. I'm from Senegal, West Africa. Yeah, grew up there. Moved here when I was 10 years old. My whole life, I just grew up playing the game every day, pretty much. We'd wake up. We wouldn't even eat breakfast, honestly, bro. We just wake up and we just go out and start playing.
That's like I feel like that's such a foreigner thing, though, right? Like, think about it. Like, you wake up, you play soccer, you go to school, like.
Absolutely.
Like recess or whatever, soccer, lunch, soccer, right?
Yeah. Not to like diss the U.S. or anything like that. But like, yeah, here, like, it's more structured. You eat and you go to school, you do all these things. But there, you wake up, you go, you play, you come back later on at night, and then you eat. It's a whole nother lifestyle.
Yeah. Nice, man. So you grew up in Senegal and came here how old were you?
I came here when I was 10 years old. Came here, joined the team, moved in with one of my best friends. And just so happened that his dad was my coach. So, he trained me. And we'd practice on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on days off, we would train together. And, just started living with him. And got lucky, got a scholarship to University of Central Florida, and then played 2 years there, and then ended up going to Liberty for 2 years.
Okay, that's cool,
Awesome.
man. I know, like, we met actually in middle school, and just even then, like, I could already tell that you were very skillful, man. Like, anytime you go play with people, whether it's pickup, whether it's a team, you always notice the player who's really good. Like, you're like, okay, like, this guy's levels, right?
Yeah, I'll take it. Can't complain. I'll take it.
Nice. So tell us about that, man. Tell us about, like, that transition when you actually got that scholarship. What was that like?
Honestly, it was awesome, man. Like, just like junior year, sophomore year, those were the years that, you would just start preparing for the next level in soccer.
What did you do to prepare?
Usually after training, I played for North Mech Academy, so after training, we would stay like an hour after. Me and one of my boys, Scout Monteith, he ended up playing in college D1. But we would just stay an hour and just play one-touch passes, get better on our touch, and do a little fitness. And by the time, like, a couple months have passed, like, dude, you could tell, like, we were getting better and better.
Okay.
So it was pretty awesome.
You guys were putting in the work then, right?
Man. Yeah, man. You have to get to that level,
Nice. So tell me a little bit about your first 2 years at Central Florida. How was that?
Man, let me tell you. It wasn't bad. It was just very eye-opening, Like, you grow up kind of like in an area and you play with those players, and but it's not until you go out into just a bigger team with more talent do you see, like, wow, like, just how good some of the players are. So my first couple years, my first year, I ended up redshirting. But even though I redshirted, like, the guys I got to play with, like Romario Williams, like, guys who went third overall in the draft.
Wow.
It was absolutely amazing, man. So that first year, we got a lot better. Got to play with kids like Walker Dawkins, who played on the national team. Just many players, man. They were awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, you were a D1 athlete, man. That's that level. Give people a little bit of perspective about that, because I think, like, people think, oh, you play college, whatever sport, and it's like, oh, okay, like, you're cool, like, you chill, but, like, it's actually hard work. It's like having a job, right?
Absolutely,
so
man.
What was the day-to-day in being, like, a D1 athlete at a school like that?
It was very hard. I'm not gonna lie, man. We would wake up probably around 5:45. We'd go to lift weights at 6 a.m. and right after that, we'd go into fitness, and then we'd have to rush to class. And if we were late, coach was mad, So as soon as you were done, you had to hit the showers, hit the locker room, run the class for the ones that had 8 a.m.s. And then right after that, you'd go to lunch around 12, and then you train in the afternoon. And then after the afternoon session, you do more fitness. I mean, it was rough, man. And then at the same time, you try to stay awake in class, which is really hard when you're training in the morning. You're waking up that early. And the next day, you're doing the very same thing and trying to just balance the both, academics and sports at the same time. It was really tough, but it's very enjoyable sometimes. But, you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, man. One of my favorite teams is Liverpool. And so huge Liverpool fan ever since I was young, man. And finally, I can boast about them because they're finally good. You know what I'm saying? I started watching them when Torres was up top. They had Dirk Kuyt. They had Gerrard in his prime. I mean, the season after that, they were trash. And then, for a couple of years, they weren't good.
Still trash.
They're the champions, man. I don't think they're trash. But one of the things that I like that Klopp always says in his interviews now, when they pull off a tough game, he always calls his players, mentality giants. He's like, yo, these guys just, the way they think, because talent is important, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But apart from talent, you also need the mentality, right?
Yeah.
I think that plays such a huge part in in the sport, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell me about maybe a time or a team that you played for that you felt okay, these guys have it, right? We may be losing 2-0 at minute 80, but by minute 90 we'll win 3-2.
Yeah, I would have to say my freshman year of college, when I played at UCF, what made me realize just these guys' mindsets were different. Were during the fitness actually, we would run around the stadium, just timed. And, dude, by the time, you run, 4 laps, you're about dead. We had this little guy, Jake. He's from California.
Uh-huh.
This guy would not stop running, man. He would just keep going, and it would just feed off the others, You'd see this guy just run. You're just all right, we got to pick it up, and started to just feed off each other. And, the whole team just started to run harder. And then next thing you know, you're doing this, and you're like, wow. I'm fitter than I thought. It's wow.
Yo, he was setting the standard right then.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Just a different mentality, man. But just amazing stuff. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And how far did some of the teams that you played for made it in college?
We made it to the semifinals of conference. Fortunately, we could have gone further, but we lost to, I think it was Temple in overtime 2 years in a row.
What was the scoreline of that game?
It was 2-1. Yeah.
Oh, man, 1-1 and then that extra time?
Yeah, man, it was awful.
Okay.
It was awful, man.
Yeah. Wow, okay, man. Yeah, now, one of the things I noticed, too, man, we're from smaller countries. I was born in Honduras. You were born in Senegal. And, I see a lot of players that are very talented, man. In Honduras, made it to the semifinal of the Olympics. You see some World Cup U17, U20, U23 teams. But, the transition from there to actually making it pro, you don't see it. Or if you do, it's not to the quality that you think these players can make it at. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Even in the U.S., you see players that you're yo, this guy's Ronaldo-esque, Messi-esque, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot that has to do with that is, the coaching, honestly. Because if you have a player that plays a certain style, and if they don't match up with the way the coach is coaching, sometimes that stops his progress of getting better, So if you can match the player with the coaching, so it's like in recruiting, if you're getting recruited by all these teams, you're about to go into college, it's really important that you make sure that, you fit with that coach, the way that coach coaches. Because if you're with the wrong coach, then that could stop your progress. Because I came in with the number 16 recruiting class in the country.
Dang.
And a lot of these guys, honestly, if I could say, most of these guys, if not all of them, should be playing pro.
Wow.
But because of I don't want to diss the coaching staff, but, things could have been different.
So let me ask you a question then. Say I'm a 15-year-old soccer player, right? I love the game. You're consumed with it. You watch it, you play it. And, I'm trying to be a pro, right? And then my next step is that I want to play Division I. And, you're mentioning your style of play and things have to match that coach as well. What kind of questions or what would you look for in a coach? Like when you're getting scouted by different schools?
First I'll say the bad thing.
Okay.
The bad news is that a lot of the coaches, unfortunately, will tell you like, like I'll treat you like family and all these things. That's a bad part of the business, but it's also really important that you visit the schools and you watch the teams and you watch the way that they play and you watch the way that the coaches interact with the players and the way the players interact with the coaches. Because if you don't see that for yourself, then you could just be hearing what they're saying. Like, I'm not going to mention any names, but when I went to UCF, my first year, the main coach, he came in, he said, I'm going to treat you like my son. And, I go in there, and that was not the case. But, that's not all coaches, though, So you just got to make sure that, you play the right not even the right style, but you and the coaching staff, like you guys connect and you agree with the way he coaches and he agrees with the way you plays. Because some coaches, they'll only play what they feel like is helping the team. And you just have to be really careful about how you decide to commit. Because also another thing is a lot of players, they'll just commit because it's a big school.
Yeah.
Big schools will come after them. They're like, oh, okay, this is like a top 20 program. I'm going to go ahead and commit right away. When, in fact, they really shouldn't. They should, slow down a little bit.
Do their homework a little bit, yeah.
Do your homework and make sure, the academics too, depends too, what you're studying and all these things.
Yeah. Because you kind of need a backup plan too. Is like not like most of us dream of playing, right? Whether you're super talented or like me, you're okay, like at best, like all of us have that dream of like going pro. But like you're right, man. Like you want to continue that, but like a lot of other things play factors as well. It's kind of like when players go to different countries in Europe or like you're going to play somewhere, but like you got to have that mindset too of understanding.
Absolutely, yeah. Like we had a few players that came in that thought they wanted to be there, and after 1 year and 2 years, they're gone. To be honest, probably 3/4 of the team left. Like from the recruiting class, they're just like they all came, all excited, and just didn't work well with the coaching staff. So you got these guys going to Jacksonville and all their programs. But yeah, it's really important.
What do you think makes like a winning program then? Like if you could put it into ingredients of a winning program, what would it be?
I would honestly say leadership and just working hard, honestly. And one thing in college that's different than just other levels of soccer, I would say when you go in, to play, there's all these distractions, For instance, freshman year, we come in, you're in Central Florida, in Orlando, and it's just like so
big city,
big city, ladies are here, and it's just like, man.
You're just like, they're like, what do you do? I'm a D1 athlete.
So it's like you got to look out for the distractions at the same time. So we would train, and at the same time, while we were getting fit, we were also doing other things off the field that we shouldn't have been doing in the middle of preseason. Okay. That could have stopped us. So it's like the little things like that too, like finding things that don't distract you as much. So like, say you go to a school like that, just like finding people that won't get into things like that.
Okay.
That way you can focus on
association, man.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and like that's where I come with the leadership. So you have to have strong leadership. You have to have leaders that'll tell you, hey, guys, we can't do this in preseason. And that was part of our problem at UCF.
Okay.
The leaders who were, engaging in that activity.
Okay.
So the rest of the team thought they could do it too.
Yeah,
the freshmen come in, they're like, oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy? Like a lot of people think that like just because you're talented, that's enough. But like, no, man, like you need those standards as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
For instance, like the kid who came in, the one who went number 3 overall in the pick, he wouldn't get involved, with any of the drinking or just any of that.
Isn't that funny how that works,
crazy, right? Yeah. Like he was one of the only ones who would not go out, who would not do all these things.
What stood out about him? Like that aspect of it, but what else?
I mean, he was just a great player, honestly. He played on the Jamaican national team, and he was more of a quiet leader,
Okay.
He would just lead by example. Like, he wouldn't say much, but when you just watched him, you're like, yeah, this guy has it. It's just amazing to watch, honestly.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. That's cool. Tell me about your years at Temple. How was that?
Oh, man. Dude, honestly, wasn't too bad. It was good.
Or Liberty, right? Liberty.
Yeah,
I don't know why
Liberty.
I said Temple. My bad. Because you mentioned you guys lost to Temple.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. It was good. It was definitely a different scene, not being Orlando. Now we're in Lynchburg, Virginia. So it's
Quite
a lot
the
less
opposite
quiet,
of Orlando, right?
A lot less quiet for sure. But, it was good, though. Like, coaching staff was good. They were all on point. The players were good. We weren't as talented as the UCF team. But it was still a good time for sure, yeah. Pretty good team, I would say.
That's cool, man. Nice, yeah. So now we're in Charlotte, man. Charlotte, we're finally getting our MLS team. You know what I'm saying? It got delayed a year, but we're officially Charlotte Football Club. So it's exciting, man. It's something new to the city. And I think like someone said this to me a long time ago, and I really liked it. They said New York is the melting pot of the world. Charlotte's kind of like the melting pot of the U.S., right?
Absolutely.
Because you got people here from New York, Pennsylvania, California, Florida, a lot of different states within the U.S. Yeah. And I think that's pretty cool. And bringing a soccer team here, I think, is the best thing that we can do, and that will help build on that soccer community.
Absolutely. Even if you look at, like, when just random teams come in town, like Chelsea, just all these other teams, the stadium's always just
super packed, man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great for the city.
Yeah.
I'm honestly excited for that.
Yeah. What are your expectations of our team?
Dude, I hope they sign me, man. Come off retirement.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you played a left wing and left back, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Man.
Straight Sadio Mane, man, in the house.
I'll meg him, bro. Bring him.
Nice, man.
Yeah, hopefully, man, they're going to be good. I saw that they signed their first player.
Yeah, they signed Sergio. I think his last name was Ruiz. And so he's coming from Spain. So that's good. They said he's going to go out on loan. And so I think they're doing a good job. I mean, having a billionaire back a team is good, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
But like you mentioned earlier, we have to have those kind of standards, right? Because I look at like a successful franchise now, like Atlanta. They've been in the league just a couple of years, and they've already won an MLS Cup. And, they had good ingredients. They had a great designated player in Josef Martinez.
Yeah.
And they've had really good coaches. Tata Martinez coached them for a while. And I'm like, if we could do something similar, right?
Yeah.
Like homegrown talent, have some players go through the U17, U14.
Yeah.
And then if we could get one good player, and it doesn't have to be a big name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it just has to be someone that's wanting to demonstrate all those leadership traits.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what else could be awesome, because I saw that they have a U17 academy. If they could bring in some of those young players.
Yeah. They have enough time to work with them. 2 years, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And with that, you have some of the best talent. In North Carolina, you got players coming from Raleigh. All these places all coming to
you're right, actually.
academy.
I didn't think about that.
And it's like, wow, these guys could be special. And that Raleigh team, they were already one of the top in the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, it could be really good.
Yeah, man. And I think that's a good segue for the World Cup that we'll host in 2026, man.
Yeah.
I personally believe that since we live in the U.S., we have, if we had the right program and the right system, we could go to a semifinal of a World Cup here, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have half Brazilian, half American kids. You know what I'm saying? You have the facilities. You have the infrastructure here, that they don't have in Senegal. They don't have in Honduras, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these players get lost. You're playing, but then you have to go, help your parents at a farm, right? Right?
Yeah, man, definitely.
People don't understand that. But here, you get the opportunity is what I love.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
You got guys like Pulisic and
man,
these guys that are playing overseas, and if they can
playing, we're at Chelsea, your favorite team.
Man, we're gonna win the league.
I want to see this a year from now, and then I'm gonna send you the clip to see if you guys did it or not.
We'll win. I'm telling you. If we just get a defense, we'd be good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I watched the game against Liverpool, and I was like, okay, up front they're amazing, but it's they're a Rolls Royce. Going up forward, they're a beat up Corolla in the
back,
defense.
Yeah, they could use a few players back there.
They remind me of Liverpool 3 years ago when we were just freaking outscoring teams. But you can't win without a strong defense, at least not in the Prem.
Exactly, man. Yeah, you You literally can't do anything in this game without a strong defense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was there a player that inspired you, like growing up, or like that you watched that you were like, dude, I love this guy?
Dude, you got to go with DJ Drogba.
Yeah.
This guy was amazing, dude. Like, dude, just, oh, man. Amazing. That's all I can say. DJ Drogba. Man.
Is he one of the reasons you became a Chelsea fan?
Absolutely. The only reason I became a Chelsea fan. You know, you'd watch this guy, and he would just put the ball down, dude, just one-touch shot, goal. Every time, man. You're just like, wow, this is amazing. And, like, it's a little biased, you know, because I'm from Africa, too. I'm like, oh, this is my team. But, yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Is there a certain player now, African player, that you like a lot that – there's a lot of good ones, man. I think after, so I'd say top tier soccer, you got Europe, right? And then you have South America, right? But then after that, I feel like a lot of great players come from Africa.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Right now, I mean, I would say Sadio Mane.
Yeah, man.
You should see my dad when he plays, man. He starts freaking out. I'm like, dude, you got to relax. Like, that wasn't even a foul. Relax. Like, you literally touch him, dude. And my dad's freaking out. I'm like, dude, that was not a foul. But,
oh, man, I can remember, like, watching, like, Honduras games with my cousins and my family. Like, it wasn't even a foul, but we would get mad. Like, yo, call it, ref.
He's biased stuff, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Sadio Mane is good, man. Salah, too, man. He's put Egypt on the map, and so.
Yeah, amazing players, bro. Africa.
How do you think they'll do for the next World Cup? Like,
oh man, Egypt or Senegal?
Senegal.
I think we'll be pretty good, honestly.
They made it to the final of the African Cup, right?
I think we made it final or semifinal. One of those.
Yeah.
But they should be pretty good. I think for them, it's coaching staff. That's mostly the issue there. But if the players can get it together, we should go pretty far. Honestly, I hope. I mean, that's just what I hope, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Nice, man. Is there any league that you like really enjoy watching, like the Premier League or?
I would say the Premier League is my favorite for sure. Yeah. But
nice.
The MLS is starting to grow on
me. Yeah. Same here, bro.
Yeah, it's absolutely. You know, you see a lot of players that are coming over from La Liga and just all leagues. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which is cool. I mean, Griezmann will be here in a couple of years.
That's wild.
Yeah, he said that he wanted to come to the MLS. I'm pretty sure he'll go to Inter Milan.
Oh, really?
Like, I feel like David Beckham has enough pull that he can get
That's
once,
crazy,
because we're technically still like a retirement league, to be honest, right?
We are, yeah.
Like, no one in their prime is gonna come to the MLS.
Yeah, that's
right.
Unless, Zlatan, you know,
he was amazing still, but like he was older.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's true. Yeah.
So like he was here to prove himself, and like he just jumped ship back up to Milan, which is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like he's like playing there and he's scoring. It's like, dude, retire. You know? It's like, when are you gonna retire, man?
It goes to show you, man, if you have quality. I think Drogba still plays, right? Like either second division somewhere. I think.
Yeah, I know he was playing like in Phoenix, second division. Yeah, but I don't know what he's doing now. But that guy needs to retire too. It's like when he was young, I'm like, yeah, but now it's like, come on, 36. But yeah, it's cool, man.
Nice, man. Well, thank you for coming on the show today, bro. I really appreciate you coming on the very first episode, man. Any parting thoughts that you have?
Oh, man, I'd have to say for any kids, you know, watching this, you know, when you're making that college choice, you just want to make sure that, you know, they have everything that you need there, you know, not just coaching staff, but, you know, academics and, you know, just everything that, you know, is involved in your life.
That concludes the very first episode of the Golden Boots podcast with my main man here, Andre Diouf. Man, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate you, man. Just giving that perspective of someone that's actually played the game and it's played at a pretty good level. I mean, D1 is something that's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.